Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to thank the brave emergency personnel who have been on the ground responding to the severe storms that came to the region Friday evening, and some have continued. Just a 15-minute drive from where we're standing, hundreds of families in Sherman took cover and endured tornadoes ripping through their homes, their farms, and their businesses. I've deployed every state resource the community has requested to help affected residents heal and rebuild. And my heart and my prayers go out to all who have been affected. Tragedy struck all across the state of Illinois on Friday, and everywhere tornadoes and severe weather hit, first responders ran toward the danger so that they could save lives and rescue those that were in distress. And that unfortunately continued for some hours during the last few days. Illinois is so fortunate to have on our side the brave men and women of our fire and police departments, our emergency management agencies, utility workers, and public works personnel. Please join me in expressing our gratitude by giving them a round of applause. So I'm thrilled to be here, back here in Springfield, alongside Senator Doris Turner and Representative Sue Scherer, Hansen's CEO and President Sergio Picori, and Illinois Department of Transportation Secretary Omer Osman to kick off the next phase of this important project for Sangamon County residents and Illinois travelers at large. In 2019, the entire bipartisan delegation of legislators representing Springfield voted in favor of the Rebuild Illinois Capital Plan, the largest infrastructure investment in state history, a testament to what state government can do when we work together across the aisle with the best interests of working families in our hearts. Nowhere is common sense governing represented better than here at the Springfield Rail Improvements Program, where we are fixing decades-old problems, creating good jobs, bringing people into downtown, and connecting Chicago and Springfield and St. Louis. Today we come together once again to announce an important part of the plan to transform Springfield's rail system and improve safety and efficiency of our road system. Both Madison and Jefferson Street serve as major throughways for Springfield residents, carrying a combined total of nearly 20,000 vehicles daily and providing a critical emergency corridor for the county sheriff, for city police and fire, and 2 hospitals nearby. But these streets also represent a problem for people, for motorists, for pedestrians, and first responders alike. The current rail crossings require frequent maintenance, and they result in congestion and delays for travelers and critical emergency personnel, and in the most tragic cases, can cause fatal accidents between the trains passing through and Illinoisans trying to get across the tracks. That danger must end. And thanks to a $68.3 million investment, we are breaking ground on new Madison Street and Jefferson Street underpasses between 9th and 11th Streets to not only improve our rail system, but to also provide much-needed safety improvements and accommodations that everyone, including bicyclists and pedestrians, will benefit from. I'm very proud to have the support in this endeavor of our railroad partners, Union Pacific Railroad, Norfolk Southern Railroad, and Canadian National Railway, as well as the support of local business community leaders, including the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, Downtown Springfield, Inc., and the institutions that comprise the Mid-Illinois Medical District. And at every turn, IDOT is working hand in hand with Sangamon County, with the City of Springfield, with Amtrak and the ICC to ensure a collaborative and seamless process as we undergo this transformation. This is just the latest project in a long list of improvements that we've made here in Springfield. We have completed the construction of underpasses at Carpenter Street, Ash Street, and Laurel Street, and built new railroad bridges at 5th Street and 6th Street. And in October of 2021, we broke ground on the Springfield Transportation Center, a brand new multimodal hub for Amtrak and the Sangamon Mass Transit District bus system to make the communities of Chatham, Sherman, Springfield, Rochester, and Riverton more accessible to each other and to St. Louis and Chicago. When all is said and done, $475 million will have been invested in the Springfield Rail Improvements Program, with $262 million of it already out the door. And these new underpasses on Madison and Jefferson Streets bring us another step closer to building a rejuvenated, multimodal transportation system that works for everyone. With that, it is my great pleasure to turn it over to the nation's finest Secretary of Transportation, Omer Osman.
Governor, thank you. I will not ask you for a raise. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Governor, for especially for your opening remarks, especially for recognizing the tragic events from over this weekend and even this morning. At IDOT, would like to say we have a long and proud history of helping our local partners in moment of crisis. Our contribution can be anything from picking up limbs and trees to hauling away debris, fixing traffic signals, and helping with traffic control. It can literally be anything. These are our hometowns. I know other state agencies feel the same way. Our employees take great pride in where they live, work, put down roots, and raise their families. That spirit was alive and well over the weekend, and will continue as long as it is needed here. I want to welcome our elected officials, but I want to talk about this project. This project was, we are highlighting today, and the governor eloquently went through the specifics of it, is actually a cornerstone of the governor's capital program, one of many happening all over the state. The Springfield Rail Improvement Project truly will unlock an investment in this region that will be felt for generations to come. It's starting today, and I know we already have it closed. Madison and Jefferson Street will be closed between 9th and 11th Streets for the next 14 months. The work that will be taking place consists of lowering both streets and building new railroad bridges over them and creating a set of double tracks. The impact of safety and quality of life here in Springfield will be immediate. By separating railroad tracks from regular vehicle traffic, the overpass will reduce congestion and delays. There will be better access for bikes and pedestrians. Emergency response time will go down. And safety and mobility will improve, meaning easier and faster trip so you can spend more time with your families. But bottom line, though, as the governor mentioned, working together with the city, Sangamon County, our federal partners, and the railroads. With the support and vision of this governor and the General Assembly, we are creating an asset for the community and strengthening the multimodal system of transportation we enjoy here in Illinois. Lastly, though, I would like to remind you and the public that this area will be a part of an active work zone. Traffic patterns will be affected, with people trying to find new ways to navigate the city. Please be patient and stay on the alert all the time. Remember to slow down. Put down the devices when you see orange. You could save a life, including your own. Thank you for having us here today, and I truly look forward to coming back and cutting a ribbon. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce an infrastructure champion, a supporter, Senator Turner.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I, too, want to lend my voice to thank the first responders for all the hard work that they do. And I see that there are a number of union members here, and I do want to acknowledge the great work that they do with their disaster response team. That was a team that I believe Brad Shivey with Local 477 assembled after the devastating tornadoes hit Springfield, and they have continued to do that great work throughout the entire state. So thank you for everything that disaster response team has done. So every time I come to one of these events, I talk about that there were 2 projects that I took with me when I left the county board to the city council to the state senate, and this rail improvement project was one of them. And I also want to highlight that one of the things that when Chairman Van Meter and I were working very hard to get that record of decision, we talked about how it would move economic development to the east and create opportunities for the east side of Springfield. And we have held true to that promise, and I think that that is something that is definitely noteworthy, and we will continue to hammer as long as, until we cut the final ribbon on this project. So as a Springfield resident and representative, I am very excited about these projects. We've all heard the complaints about the trains going right through downtown, not being able to get through to the medical district. Governor, you've heard those loud noises when you're trying to sleep at night. And this project removes some of those unnecessary barriers that the large number of train tracks cause through rail consolidation, commercial activity, and residential connectivity across Springfield. I remember back when when the governor signed the Capitol bill, and I had the great honor of standing next to him when he signed that, and I knew what that would mean to the city of Springfield, what that would mean to downtown, and it has definitely come to fruition. So I want to thank you, Governor, for your foresight in leading that charge, but also for holding true to your commitment that you would be a governor for all of Illinois, and what that has meant to Springfield has been absolutely remarkable. I just had the opportunity to talk to a group of interns at IPHA, and there were 2 things that I talked to them about that I thought was very important: advocacy and collaboration. And I will tell you that this project is a testament to the success of those 2 things coming together: advocacy and collaboration. The collaboration between the city, county, and Department of Transportation has allowed real change to come to Springfield. So thank you. And with that, I would ask Representative Souchere to come.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. Every time I do this, I think how weird this would be if you just stood here and there was no one in the room. And I've actually observed someone do that before, and it would be very odd. So anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you genuinely from the bottom of my heart to make the effort to be here. And thank you to the people behind me and out in front for what you have done to bring us all together to make this happen. When I think back to 2013 and seeing different lists and being invited to the rail improvement meetings, which weren't even in existence yet, but they were starting to think about them, and I remember this moment and thinking, how on earth are we going to ever get this across the finish line? And then I thought, well, if you can dream it, you can do it. And so it means you're just going to have to work extra hard to make sure that this happens. And man, the first few years were quite a struggle. I mean, more than a few years, I guess, if I think about it, because that was 2013. But the plans were moving forward. But, we didn't have the money investment, and the amount of money that the state was going to have to come up with was staggering. And I still remember, and I don't remember which one of you guys was in my office, and I remember that blank stare of, oh my God, you're asking a lot of me to figure this out. And so along comes Governor Pritzker, and he dreams big just like all of the rest of us do. And the Capitol bill comes along, and I'm like, it's going to actually happen. all our hard work is going to actually pay off. And here we are at one of those moments. And it's so rare, as Senator Turner said, I don't know if everybody can really appreciate what it's like to be there in the beginning and to be there now. Because, you know, in politics, that's just not that common of a thing to have happen. So it's very humbling and such an honor to be here. And then I want to speak just for a moment. There are a lot of people, maybe not so many in this room, but there are a lot of people that would love to go to Chicago, but they're not comfortable driving by themselves in downtown Chicago. Or they'd like to go to St. Louis, but they're not comfortable driving there alone. They don't feel safe. They feel like they're going to get lost, get in a wreck, what have you. This takes that away. And it enables people who live here in central Illinois to live in a great big world instead of in a little box. Because now, you know, your mother can go to Chicago by herself because she can ride this train. And it means the world. I had a rep friend say, you got to do something about these horns blowing all night long. I'm really tired of hearing that, Sue. Well, she left, but the whistles are gone. So the other person I wanted to mention was Clifford. And I thought, Clifford is our disabled friend that's here. And I'm thinking of his family today. And I'm thinking, you would like to go to Chicago too. You would like to go to St. Louis. But think of how hard that is with just your car. And if you go by train, you've got people there to help you get on and off, and a place for you to sit in the train safely. And so we're doing so much for so many people. I just hope we all take a breath and realize it's not just about the flash and the show. It's we are truly making a difference in so many people's lives here today. That I truly appreciate, Governor, your vision before the Capitol bill was passed, because that was not an easy bill to get passed, but it's worth it. My dad always said, most things that are really hard are worth it, but they're really hard to get there. So thank you, and I would like to introduce Governor Pritzker.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Well, I will say you envisioned it. You envisioned it long before I got here. So I'm just glad that we could work together to actually see it come to fruition, and it will.